With us today on Daleville Sports Weekly is Bronco head volleyball coach Beth Etchison. And Coach, we're approaching the midway point of the season, but let's go back to week one, if you will. Do you like opening with 3 county and conference rivals who happen to also be statewide powers? Is that good? Is that bad? Just talk to me a little bit about week one.
Well, I'd say it's good and bad. We have a kind of a mantra that iron sharpens iron.
Sure.
We like the head-on, jump right in competition of some of the best teams in the state in week one. But the key is that my girls have to have the right mindset. We go in to that week knowing that it's going to be a huge task. We know that it's going to be it's going to try our teamwork. It's going to try our mentality. But we go in believing we can win every game, and we've done that from the beginning of the year, and I'm really proud of my girls for that.
Bring them on.
So I say, yeah, I mean, it's good because it lets us know what we need to work on right off the bat. We don't pad our schedule at the beginning, so yes, it does, coming out of week one at 1 and 2 is a little difficult, but when you look at losing to WAP and losing to current state champion Westdale, I was really proud of the way my girls fought. I thought we were in every set. Both of those games, then taking the game from Cowan in 5 on Friday night was kind of okay, now we're in, let's go.
Sure. Since week one, you've won 6 of 7. What do you feel that you guys have done well to have that kind of success early on?
This is probably the most positive group of girls I've ever worked with. When one player is down, having an off night, the next person up, next man up. Steps in and gets their mental game back on track. We are mentally strong. Are we the tallest team in the state? No. We don't block well. We know that. But what my girls do is they believe in each other. They're positive from the beginning to the end of every set. When we get down, we call timeout, regroup, and get back out. There's just no quit in my team, and that's one thing that I'm really proud of them for.
It doesn't get any easier. You got number 1 and 2A next week. You got a big tournament I know coming up. I'm sure it will be tough here in a week and a half or so, something like that. What are some of the main things that you still really need to work on here as you move into the middle, tough stretch of the season?
Right. Some of the bigger teams that we're going to play, we're going to see Danville at Greenfield. We're going to see Bar Reeve. We're going to see Evansville Wrights, I believe. Just big teams.
Sure.
And we don't block well. So our defense is going to be our focus. And we work a lot on positioning. We work a lot on digs. We work a lot on reading the hitters because we know that, at 5'8", 5'9", 5'10" across the front as our biggest player, we're not going to be able to stop the attack, but we can dig the attack. So that's kind of what we're working on.
Right.
We also work really hard to serve tough and try to keep the other teams out of the system as best we can, and that gives our defense a little more of a chance. We feel like if we don't let them pass threes to where they can run their middles and run their outsides quick. So
you've got several players at or near the top of the conference in terms of individual statistics and so forth. Tell us about some of those individuals that have kind of carried the load for you here in the first roughly half of the season.
Okay. Lindsay Ingenito is our sophomore middle hitter. She's one of our captains. Just an amazing player. I've always said about Lindsay that she plays beyond her years and taller than she really is. She finds holes. She's very consistent. Right now, sitting at about 140 kills, a third of the way into the season, so I'm really proud of her for that. Secondly, we have Breanna Townsend, who is our outside hitter. Breanna has really picked up the digs this year. She's leading the team in digs. And to look at Breanna, she doesn't present as a defensive specialist, but the other teams pick on her, and she responds. She's one of the best, most accurate passers we have on our team. And finally, Xana Weber is a sophomore setter she's our quarterback. She's our floor general. She's just has improved immensely. She earned the starting job about middle way through last year, and has just grown immensely in every area of setting. I have full 100% confidence in her. She leads us in so many ways. Any pass that's anywhere near her, she's going to get something under it, and she's just one of those girls that I don't have to think about that position. I don't have to coach that position very much because Xana knows. She just knows what she's doing. So those 3 girls are leading us right now in most of our categories, and then our other girls are pushing them in each area. So we have a really balanced team right now.
You've just got about 3 seniors on your roster out of 14. You've got to feel good about not only this year, but also the future. Just talk a little bit about the makeup of your team. I know you've already talked about some of them, maybe even some of the players that maybe aren't leading in statistical categories, but have been kind of the glue.
Yeah. Breanna is one of our seniors that we're going to miss statistically. I don't want to talk about that yet,
Sure.
but she's going to be hard to replace on the floor as a leader in the team. Kaylee Allen came to us this year from Liberty Christian, and she's just probably one of the most positive people I've ever met. She started off the season in a starting position and has stepped back out of that role a little bit when we reconfigured some things after week 1, and has still been probably our biggest cheerleader from the bench and is ready to go in at any time. Alexis Barr is our 3rd senior, and she doesn't see a lot of floor time, but she's always there. She's always working. She's a great practice player, has a lot of off-speed shots in practice that make us force our defense to work a little bit. And our 4th senior, who dresses both JV and varsity, is Adriana Fouch, and she is probably the hardest working young lady we have. She's recently in a car accident, so she's not with us right now as a team, but she worked so hard all summer and is willing to accept whatever she can get just to be a part of the team. And that's kind of every person on this team fills a role, and whether it's on the court, on the bench, in practice, off the court, organizing team get-togethers, they work together cohesively as a unit, and I think that's why we're being successful right now.
I know those team get-togethers, team bonding, is a big thing in volleyball, so I get that.
That's true.
You are 2-2 in conference play right now with an important game tonight against Blue River. You've got another important one, I believe, next week against Burris. You're going to need some help to get a piece of that conference title, most likely. But whether you do, whether you don't, you got a chance to finish pretty high, I think, probably higher than what you have before in some time. How do you address conference games? Are they more important maybe than some of the others, or what's your focus there?
I think at this point in the year, every game is important. We don't have that name recognition that a lot of the teams in the county have. So we want to definitely win all the games we're supposed to win.
Sure.
Conference wins absolutely are more important. Going in 0-2 right off the bat is difficult, but we feel like we got the two big ones out of the way.
Right.
Monroe Central is really impressive. Watched them a little bit this summer. They have an outside hitter that's just amazing and great coaching. So I know that's going to be another tough battle.
Sure.
They're all tough. On any given night, if we're off our game, if we don't play well, we don't pass the ball, that's kind of where, if we don't receive the serve as well as we need to and get our attack rolling, we know that's going to put us on our heels. So, conference games are important, but we kind of feel like all of them are important right now.
Coach, thanks for joining us, and good luck tonight as you go to Blue River.
Thank you.
As we said, the Volley Broncs take on Blue River tonight. They're at Class 2A number 1 Alexandria next Monday, and then they host Shenandoah in what will be our next broadcast on DalevilleSports.com. And I believe after that is the Burris game that we've mentioned as well. You've been watching Daleville Sports Weekly on DalevilleSports.com.